Okay, so it's been a while since I've made a video. Um, I had a pretty bad mental health day. I don't know when it was. It was a while ago where I didn't get out of bed for the entire day. I tend to function pretty well despite being depressed. I think it's because I've been depressed for pretty much all of my life in some shape or form. The only reprieve from depression being the mania induced anorexic spurts, which are also bad mental health, but in any case, um, I function quite well for someone who's depressed. I can likely hold down a job. I had a job for a while, and I just know from working at a job I could probably hack it depending on the work environment. Um, I can feed myself barely, but I can feed myself, and I found pretty unique ways of getting around certain aspects of being so depressed all the time. Um, so most days I'm pretty productive. Most days I'm pretty productive. However, I have a day or two from time to time where I shut down entirely. The reason for this really bad mental health day was because I was reminiscing on the men in my life. See, I used to idolize men deeply. I think it was mostly a dysphoria based envy as someone who identifies as transmasculine, although I don't fucking know what gender I am. But I think it was a dysphoria based envy, but also a result of deep, deep, deep mommy issues. If my video Mom has not explained that yet, then just know if you haven't watched it, my mommy issues are far worse than my daddy issues. Well, it is hard. It's hard to come across, I think, people who have mommy issues worse than their daddy issues. Because I've noticed even in households where the father is the main aggressor, which was it was the same in my household growing up. People tend to bond more to their mother figures. So it is amazing that even in a household where my father was the main aggressor, oh fuck me, of course. Okay. It astounds me that even in a household where my father was the main aggressor, um, my mother still scares me far, far deeper than my father does. I'm not willing to say that she's a psychopath because she doesn't display any social traits. I have her deeply relate to BPD loved ones on Reddit, and I don't know, she's got something that is in the way of her empathy. At least I assume so, because I experienced deep maternal love to the point at which it is actually quite painful for me to part with something that I have developed this nearly mother-like bond with. I started realizing this in my teenage years, but I think it was always there, kind of. And I know that there's a lot of psychology and child development books out there teaching you how to be a good parent. But with a lot of love for someone or something, it can be hard to not know what to do, you know? If you love something a lot, if your heart is open that way, then I find that some behaviors arise instinctually, like the validation of emotions, the willingness to understand why someone feels or is doing something over just outright punishing them from the get-go. It's a fascinating thing to experience. I should also mention that my hair is bleached so that I can dye it red. I'm not going blonde. I've been informed that blonde does not suit me by everyone who has seen me so far. Is there someone out there? Like, fuck. Anyways, I wanted to make a video documenting how I've been and where I've been and such, as I usually do, but oh god, this is not easy. It's really not easy for me. But I was also going to make a video documenting some of the many mentally ill ways I've behaved in my life. And the reason I'm doing this is not only because I'm pushing myself to do things that make me feel uncomfortable, because as I'm beginning to realize now, a lot of avoidant attachment, which I struggle with, is based upon an unwillingness to confront or do things that make you feel uncomfortable. For example, I have all but ghosted Blair, not because I want to or do not feel remorse, simply because I don't have it in me to break up with her. And I know that's very wrong and I need to get to it and do it and shit, but it's hard overcoming that mental block. I know it's unforgivable, honestly. Yeah. Mental illness is not pretty. The ways trauma inhibits you in life is not pretty. It's never pretty. And at the very least, I went through an avoidant hatred phase when I broke up with my ex, because when I was with him, the anxious side of my attachment came to the forefront, and it is honestly, I'm glad I had that phase, but I'm glad I had that phase, honestly, because I was idealizing the idea of being avoidant beforehand. I liked the idea of being uber independent. But that's the thing, that's a misconception about people with avoidant attachment. What I've noticed when I'm acting avoidantly and acting from the side of myself I know to be a result of avoidant attachment, it is an incredibly fear-based experience. I don't know why it is that people mystify and put people on avoidant attachment on this kind of a pedestal, you know? Or at least people who haven't been hurt by one. Because when you get hurt by one, oh my god, it's the most frustrating thing. Because when you're acting anxiously, or not even acting anxiously, but out of love for someone, and you're begging for your needs to be met by someone who cannot meet you halfway, it is hard because in your mind, it's just instinctual. It's just instinctual that you would want to hold your partner, talk to your partner, spend time with them. Not even to the extreme, because if someone is avoidant enough, your needs don't have to be very big, very complex, or unreasonable. And the harder that they pull away, the more unreasonable you're going to get in the way that you beg for your needs to be met. Even if you didn't start out a clingy person, people who were in relationships with people who are avoidant, who even started out secure in their attachment, can fucking end up incredibly clingy. Because it's basically you standing on your last legs begging for the relationship to work. So it's easy to hate them. Funny that I haven't seen any hatred towards people with disorganized attachment. like myself. I would assume I'm disorganized. I diagnose myself disorganized on the basis that I know I exhibit both types of behaviors. But I'm beginning to wonder now if people with disorganized attachment exhibit anxious and avoidant behaviors in a daily setting. Whereas with me, it's more like I am avoidant all the time with everyone until the switch flips, which, as far as I'm aware, is characteristic of avoidant attachment, not so much disorganized. So I may be correctly misdiagnosing myself. Honestly, I shouldn't really be diagnosing myself anyway, so I don't have a qualification yet. But my little autistic brain isn't going to stop speculating. I mean, it's an autistic brain. I'm supposed to notice patterns and behaviors and put two and two together. It's the part of me that wants to do math, but can't. So now I do psychology. I can't math very well. I have to reteach myself math. Actually, because I want to get a degree in neuroscience one day. Just to fucking prove it to all the people in my life who told me I was stupid. Mostly children, my own age, when I was a child. Which is rather petty, and I should be holding on to that. We're just children, but I guess I'm petty. Well, it's for myself too, you know? Not being able to math meant that a lot of career opportunities, career paths have been just blocked off in my mind because I assumed, well, I'll never be able to math, so why would I even speculate about being a physicist? I do quite like the study of physics. It's not a special interest of mine, just a kind of a minor interest that floats along the surface of my consciousness. That and a million other things. Fuck. God, I'm such a dork. Just staring at myself with my buzz cut hair, my fucking glasses, talking about how I have somewhat of an interest in physics and psychology. Such a dork. It's awesome. Fuck, shit. Fuck, shit, I'm cursing a lot. Fuck, shit, poopy face. Fuck your mother. Where was I? Beginning to realize now how weird the music in the background might sound. It's just samba music in the background. Feels like I'm in the elevator having an awkward conversation with my reflection in the mirror. While everybody else in the elevator avoids eye contact. Honestly, during my mentally ill phase, and who knows, maybe I have more mentally ill phases yet to come. Seems that I think I'm sane to a painful degree. In fact, if anything, my complete and utter belief in myself has influenced deeply many of these mentally ill delusions. Why is the child yelling? Sorry, it's my siblings. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I have to let go of my ex because I'm a stubborn bitch and I don't like letting go of things. And I was anxious in my relationship with him, and he was the only person I ever met that I felt like truly understood the way that I thought. Kind of disjointed, autistic way of seeing the world, which as a painfully lonely autistic person, both due to location and lack of social skills, and lack of introduction into any social group that would share any traits of my disorder, that was incredibly important to me. So, yeah. It's been its own journey. God, I can't believe I'm using that particular, I can't believe I'm using those words. It's been its own journey of enlightenment. Sorry. But yeah, it's been its own journey. been its own journey, and I can't even do it. It's been a something. It's been a thing. It's been a fucking thing. Shit. Yeah. I finally gotten to the point at which I don't feel like I would respect an apology from him. It's like and I went through a phase for a while where the thought of him or anyone from my past apologizing to me or my present apologizing to me for their various crimes against my soul filled me with a dopamine rush, and that gave me a lot of feelings of self-worth and self-confidence. But now I'm kind of at the point at which, while I would appreciate an apology from people, unless it was the best apology that anyone could ever give to another human being, who could truly excuse any of the things that they or he has done, I feel like I'd appreciate it, but I wouldn't respect it. It wouldn't even be for the content of the apology itself. It would simply be for the fact that someone apologized to me. That makes sense. Like a trophy on my wall. To show myself that I am actually worthy. And that is where my self-esteem is valued. So I'm there, and the idea of seeing him fills me with dread. Even though part of me will always be curious to speculate as to how he's doing, where he is in life, and whether or not he will ever regret what happened. Whether he will ever think of me and feel like shit, which I don't even want. Just want some kind of closure, some kind of rectifying. I think this must be where the autisticness comes in, because I need a path forward and a call of action, you know? Like, I know the path of healing is one that is taken in the inner world, not the external world. There's not really anything I can do to speed up healing, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't feel proactive, you know? And I guess I need that. This happened, so now you must do this thing. I need that kind of guidance, that kind of structure. And I think I might be able to do something now, because I called a rape crisis center and told them what my ex had done to me. And I was looking for a professional opinion, because essentially everyone in my life has told me that what Jamie did to me was technically a class of sexual assault. And the funny thing is I never didn't think of it that way. I thought of it at the time that it happened as borderline rape, whatever the fuck that actually goddamn means. I was in denial, so don't even question on why my brain came up with that logic, with that terrible word that means fuck all. You can borderline rape someone, you can mistakenly fuck them, but if you mistakenly fuck someone and it causes them distress, you should say sorry. And if you didn't mean it, just simply for the fact that you hurt them. At least I think so. You know? It's not an admittance of wrongdoing if it was a true accident, you know? But simply an acknowledgement of another's pain. And a promise that that will not happen again. I guess apologies can be a lot of things and mean different things to different people. Perhaps would be a good idea to clarify what exactly you're looking for in an apology. Whether it be an admittance of wrongdoing from the other person, or you're just calling for them to recognize that you deserve recognition for the pain that they put you in. Maybe it's all of these things all at once. My brain hurts. Fuck. Stop cursing. Stop cursing. I called a rape crisis center, and the lady there essentially, in so much as told me as that it was assault. The exact words she used were, "Well, I can't tell you what you should think about your experiences, but I think you know what happened." After I asked her straight up just to tell me, straight what had happened to me. And then she mentioned something about going to the police, so I guess that's what I'm doing. I can gather some screenshots that I was sent by a mutual of friends of his back in his young days. I'm really hoping that nothing will come of it necessarily, that I won't ever have to actually sit in court and look him in the eyes or anything like that. But I'm a little bit confused as to whether or not there's part of my subconscious is just hoping for a reaction from him, which be the way that I was even a few weeks ago. But now, the thought of being able to do something proactive, like go to the police, even if it never results in us talking, that feels good, if not better than the idea of seeing him. The idea of seeing him doesn't feel good. So I'm assuming there's not any kind of weird subconscious shit going on where I'm just looking for to bug him or something because I'm bored or miss him or shit. But I want to be careful anyways, because my attachment towards him died a long and tortured death. Don't all trauma bonds? But the idea of going to the police honestly has brought a feeling of peace and clarity over my mind. I still think of him, but not in the tortured way I did. And there's no thoughts of, oh, it could have been better if you weren't a psychopath. Or, God, I wonder if perhaps I was the one in the wrong. Or, shit, I just didn't love you enough for you to love me enough. Or any kind of dumb thoughts like that. Those are gone nearly entirely. The only thing that remains is a power fantasy where I am a man and he is a small twink and we have a very gay relationship. I've only started having fantasies like that after the incident. Otherwise, the assault. God. I don't know. It's hard to call it that because my brain is so literal. I mean, he stopped. Therefore, it can't be rape, right? He did take advantage of me while I was in a vulnerable headspace. And he should have known better. But didn't he stop? Why does everyone else in my life call it rape? Regardless, I'm still gonna go to the police anyways, just for my own clarity. Because, even if nothing comes of it, I know that there's a chance that if he ever does rape someone, probably already has, that the next man who next person who comes into the police station with his name and address and photo will be taken a little more seriously. Because regardless of whether or not what happened to me was assault or not, it still was not the most consensual act ever, and it certainly indicated some off things about his personality. I'm tired. Anyways, I was going to make the video on mental illness. Some of the more delusional ways I've acted. So as to help me accept that part of my life and that part of my personality. To accept that I did act that way at any point. I don't feel guilty over these things. I feel embarrassed more than anything. I think I might leave that to another video. This constitutes its own video. Fuck. There are little bits of green coffee in my throat. Fuck. I'm not looking forward to going to the police. I'm honestly not. The thought that I can and should makes me feel better, but I don't know if the act of it is gonna make me feel alright. But doing things that makes you uncomfortable is good for your growth. Yay! Fuck me. I'm too mature for a 20-year-old. I sound like a 30-year-old that's on a self-help spiral. Which honestly, I'm more likely like that. Accommodation. Obviously, I am still in a room, which is good. Things at home have been drastically improving. As I said in the video, it was rough, really rough for a while. I'm gonna have to wait about 12 weeks for the council to approve whether or not I should be helped with the house something payment. If that doesn't work, I have to talk with my granny and ask her if she'll be able to give me a lift into town while I work for a little while. If I work for a little while, I can get a loan, which will pay for my rent for a little while, provided I can pay it back. Pay the rent back. Which I think I could, honestly. You know? But pay the loan back. It would mean that I wouldn't have to be afraid of ever having to go back home at any point if I took the loan out. If I didn't take a loan out, I could probably just go into shared accommodation anyways, but in that case it would be very much rent to rent payments week to week, wondering if I have enough to pay. Just its own kind of its own kind of headache. But I can imagine on the minimum wage there would be enough. I can imagine. I haven't done it yet, but I'd say so. Plus whatever work I'm doing to supplement my rent. Likely prostitution. I don't really mind going into sex work. I get to have unsatisfying sex with customers for money, as opposed to just having unsatisfying sex with men I shouldn't date for no money. If all that does not fall through, I can also ask the social welfare to help me with, what is it called? A rent supplement that they're required by law to give me. Law is a funny place. I've also met a new friend who may squat with me if it ever comes to that. If it ever comes to me occupying a building to squat in. Which, as ambient and as nice as things have gotten now at home, I'm still really I want to get out. I want a new phase of my life to begin. Also, I was just informed that the one bus stop that I fought my parents to be able to go to, I'm not shitting you, I did. I had to fight them tooth and nail. Apparently there are more than one that I didn't know about. I would never have found out if someone hadn't told me. There's one in Slane and one in Calps near the Silver Tankard that I can walk to. Dear Lord, I'm tired. I woke up at 3 this morning. I've got kind of insomnia where you wake up ridiculously early and then can't go back to sleep. I've already taken a nap today, but I'm still fucked. I struggle with insomnia a lot. Both the cannot get to sleep at night kind, and both the wake up super fucking early and can't get back to sleep kind, so double threat. So that's where I'm at regarding accommodation. I've got many different routes, and I feel quite optimistic about the fact that I'll be able to get out and stay out, hopefully. Because as ambient as things are getting, I would like to enjoy being 20 years old. I didn't have a teenagehood. Not really. I didn't have a childhood either. Not having a teenagehood hurts worse. Because not having a childhood is not really your fault, and it's sad, and people can pity you. Not having a teenagehood, I mean, I know logically in my head, while it was a bit insane, I probably could have maintained a friend group. My social skills were terrible, but not so terrible that I couldn't have socialized with people my own age and enjoyed it. And I did from time to time. It's just that there's no way to sustain those connections, given my physical location. Still, it's hard to get over the internalized idea that the reason I didn't have a teenagehood is because I was a complete loser. I shouldn't feel so embarrassed, but I do, even though it wasn't my fault. It isn't me feel embarrassed about things that aren't my fault. Shame and guilt over things that aren't my fault. Just classic me. Spent my last relationship doing that. Never again. God. I can't believe this video here.